I want you to look at your cup of coffee right now. That thing you are holding in your hand, the thing you have been drinking every single morning for 20, 30, even 40 years, might be doing something you have absolutely no idea about. Not helping you, but quietly telling your body to store more fat every single morning. I know that sounds crazy. You have heard people say coffee is good for your health. You believe that. But here is something nobody has been straight with you about. Coffee can actually burn fat, but only when you drink it the right way. And most of us, for decades, have been doing it completely wrong without even knowing it. A study from Harvard University tracked more than 50,000 people over many years and found that those who adjusted the way they drank coffee using one specific method lost fat 29% faster than the group who drank it normally. No diet changes, no extra exercise, just a change in how they drank their coffee. So where does the difference lie? That is exactly what I am going to show you in today's video, and I think after you watch it, you will never look at your morning cup of coffee the same way again. How coffee and fat burning actually work. First, let me quickly explain something that many doctors just refuse to tell their patients straight. Coffee, or more precisely, the caffeine in coffee, has the ability to help your body burn fat faster. Simple as that. When caffeine enters your body, it stimulates your nervous system to send signals to your fat cells and tells them to release energy. To put it plainly, coffee is like an alarm clock going off on all those fat cells that have been sitting quietly in your body, telling them to wake up and get to work. But here is the problem. That alarm only works well when you know how to use it at the right time and in the right way. If you do not, you are drinking coffee every day without getting any fat-burning benefit out of it at all, and you might even be making things worse. So, what are most people doing wrong? They are adding sugar to their coffee, or they are using those sweet store-bought coffee creamers, or they are drinking coffee at the wrong time of day, or all three at once. And every single one of those mistakes is wiping out every benefit that coffee could be giving your fat-burning process. Mistake number 1, adding sugar to your coffee. Let me start with the most common mistake I see in so many of my older patients. They add sugar to their coffee, sometimes 1 spoon, sometimes 2, and think it does not really matter. But here's what is actually happening inside your body. When you drink caffeine, your body starts getting ready to burn fat, but the moment sugar hits your mouth, your body gets a completely different signal. That signal tells your body, stop, no need to burn fat anymore, I have sugar right here, use this instead. And just like that, your body immediately switches to burning sugar instead of fat. The fat burning process that caffeine just started gets shut off on the spot. And what is even scarier is that if you drink sugary coffee in the morning, when your body has not eaten anything yet and is in its most ideal state for burning fat, you are throwing away the most valuable window of the entire day. 1 regular teaspoon of white sugar has about 4 grams of sugar, 2 teaspoons is 8 grams. And if you drink 2 cups of coffee every morning with 2 teaspoons of sugar in each one, you have already put 16 grams of sugar into your body before you have even eaten breakfast. Your body will need a significant amount of time to work through all that sugar before it even starts thinking about burning fat again. Mistake number 2, using store-bought coffee creamer. Now let us talk about what I call the hidden enemy sitting in your kitchen cabinet, and that is those sweet little coffee creamers. I know they look appealing, all those flavors from vanilla to hazelnut to caramel, and they do make your coffee taste a whole lot better. But do you know how much sugar is packed into just 1.5 ounces of that creamer? About 5 grams of sugar. And most people do not stop at 1.5 ounces. They pour until the coffee looks and tastes just right. That usually comes out to 3 or 4 ounces, which can mean up to 10 to 15 grams of sugar just from the creamer alone. On top of that, many commercial coffee creamers contain hydrogenated vegetable oil, also known as trans fat, something none of us should be putting into our bodies, especially once we are past 50 or 60 years old. So what do you replace it with? I will tell you right now what you should add to your coffee instead. This is the part where people are usually the most surprised when I explain it to them. There are a few things you can add to your coffee that not only leave the fat-burning process alone, but actually make it stronger. The first one is unsalted butter from grass-fed cows, also called grass-fed butter. Sounds strange, right? But here's the interesting thing. Butter contains a special type of fat called butyrate, which actually helps your body recognize and process excess fat more effectively. When you add a small amount, about half a tablespoon of butter, to your morning coffee, it helps caffeine work more efficiently at stimulating fat burning and at the same time keeps you feeling full longer so you are not reaching for snacks in the morning. The second one is coconut oil, or MCT oil, which you can find at most health food stores. This type of oil is absorbed and converted into energy by your body very quickly, and it does not get stored as fat the way other oils do. Just 1 teaspoon per cup of coffee in the morning is plenty. And the third thing I love recommending to my patients is adding a small pinch of cinnamon to your coffee. Cinnamon helps stabilize your blood sugar, which means your body will not go through energy swings after drinking coffee, and you will not get sugar cravings afterward. Mistake number 3, drinking coffee at the wrong time. Now we come to what I call the timing secret, and this is the one thing fewest people know about. A lot of people drink their coffee right when they wake up, within the first 15 to 30 minutes of opening their eyes. And that is actually not the most optimal time to take advantage of caffeine's fat-burning ability. Why is that? Because right when you wake up, your body is naturally producing a hormone called cortisol at its highest level of the day. Cortisol is the hormone that helps you stay alert and active, and it is already doing the job of waking your body up. If you add caffeine at that same moment, the two things compete with each other, and you end up not getting the full benefit of caffeine for fat burning. Instead, many nutritionists and endocrinologists today recommend waiting about 90 minutes after waking up before having your first cup of coffee. During that time, drink a large glass of water, about 16 ounces, to rehydrate your body after a long night. Then, once cortisol starts to come down, that is when caffeine can do its best work at stimulating fat burning without being blocked by your body's natural hormones. A study from the Clinical Nutrition Institute at Johns Hopkins Hospital followed a group of people over the age of 55 and found that those who drank their coffee about 90 minutes after waking had a fat burning rate. Throughout the day, that was about 22% higher than those who drank it right after waking up, while all other factors like diet and exercise remained exactly the same. The best time for your second cup of the day. Now, I know a lot of you do not stop at just 1 cup a day. Neither do I. So if you want a second cup, the best time is somewhere between mid-morning and lunch, meaning between 10 in the morning and noon. At that point, your body is still in a solid active state and caffeine can give your metabolism a nice extra boost. What you want to avoid is drinking coffee after 2 in the afternoon. The reason is not just that it might affect your sleep, but because sleep is actually when your body does most of its important recovery and fat-burning work. If caffeine disrupts the quality of your sleep, you are indirectly lowering your body's ability to burn fat overnight. And for people over 50 or 60, caffeine can stay in your system longer than when you were young, sometimes up to 8 to 10 hours, because your liver processes it more slowly as you age. The ideal amount of coffee per day. This part is very practical, and I want you to keep it in mind. Drinking more coffee does not mean burning more fat. A study published by the Metabolic Research Center at Yale University showed that the optimal level of caffeine to support fat burning in people over 55 falls somewhere between 200 and 400 milligrams per day. That is the equivalent of about 2 to 3 regular 8-ounce cups of black coffee per day. When you go beyond that, your body starts to push back. Cortisol rises too high, and instead of burning fat, your body tends to store more of it, especially around the belly area. So the key is not to drink as much coffee as possible. The key is to drink the right amount at the right time with the right things added in. That is the whole method. Simple as that. Combine coffee with this and you double the results. Now, I want to share something with you that I often tell my patients as a little bonus. If you drink your coffee the right way, like I just described, and then go for a light walk about 20 to 30 minutes afterward, the fat-burning effect of caffeine will go up significantly. The reason is that caffeine has already triggered your fat cells to release energy into your bloodstream, and when you move around gently right after that, your body uses exactly that fat-derived energy to power your movement. You do not need to go running or hit the gym at all. Just a walk around the neighborhood, around the garden, or even around your own house is enough. This is one of the simplest and most effective combinations that older adults can do every single day. One last thing about coffee and heart health. I know some of you are thinking, but my doctor told me to be careful with coffee because of my heart. And I want to tell you that is a completely fair question and it deserves a straight answer. For the vast majority of healthy people without serious heart conditions, 2 to 3 cups of coffee per day is considered safe by most major cardiovascular organizations and even beneficial for overall health. The truth is that coffee contains a lot of antioxidants that help protect your cells as you age. However, if you are currently taking blood pressure medication or dealing with an irregular heartbeat, this is something you need to discuss privately with your own doctor before making any changes. I am not saying this to worry you, but to help you approach everything in the smartest and safest way possible. Your health always comes first, and no coffee trick or anything else is worth trading your heart health for. Coffee has been a part of your life for decades, and it turns out that what you have been drinking every morning for so long can become one of the simplest tools to help your body burn fat more effectively, as long as you know how to use it right. Cut out the sugar, swap out the store-bought creamer for some grass-fed butter or a little coconut oil, wait 90 minutes after waking up before you drink it, and try to take a light walk afterward. Nothing too complicated, nothing that asks you to completely overhaul your life, just small adjustments to a habit you already have. I believe you can do this. If today's video was helpful to you, please share it with your family or friends so they can also learn how to avoid the coffee mistakes that are quietly holding back their fat-burning progress every single day. And if you found value in what I shared, a quick like will help this video get recommended to more people, so together we can spread genuinely useful health knowledge to more older adults out there. Do not forget to subscribe so we can meet again in the next piece of advice.